closer look at the calendar, is the final Friday in the month of September. It effectively Monday will be wrapping up the third quarter of the year. Welcome everyone to Frontier Opening Bell. This is how we're looking at the final day of the week, and it's hope you've got a great week so far. Just Thursday, a look back into the trading day across Africa after three sessions of a straight gains. The Nigerian market bucked by roughly 0.5%, taking the 98,000 lower. And when we all thought that they will cross over to 99,000, the market bucked that with some sell-offs in big names such as the MTN Nigerian unit down very sharply, and a few other banking names on Thursday. So that was what happened, by the way. So it looks like the market is now finally reacting to the Tuesday's interest rate hike, 50 basis points by the central bank, straight out of the blues, taking the headline policy rate to 27.25 for the September interest rate meeting. We've got November to deal with, and we're done with the year. The BRVM tightened slightly by 0.02% yesterday, 264.19 on the composite, while the Egyptian market eked out 0.1% to say happy weekend in Cairo, 31,276 on the EGX30. The NSE in Nairobi was down by 0.35%, while the Johannesburg stock market, that's the GSE, rose 1.59%. A very big jump there for the biggest exchange on the continent, 87,327 for the all-share index. Thank you. Let's take it down. Grab a couple of headlines for me. In East Africa, with Kenya doing talks for $1.5 billion funding support from Abu Dhabi after things look a little bit tight between the World Bank, the IMF, and Kenya, by the way, in terms of the next round of funding, about $3.5 billion that Kenya is expecting from the multilateral institutions. Now, the Kenya President, William Ruto, had to quickly look for other sources of funding because things are looking really tight. The government has not really been able to implement the Finance Act 2024, and the year is almost running out. And the parliament in Kenya, however, have stopped the 25-year concession of the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport to the Indian company Adani Group. The members of parliament says they want some aspects of that deal to go through what we call special audit or investigation. And banks in Rwanda made a pile of money in the first half of the year, January to June, 132 billion Rwandan francs. That's according to data putting the whole first half of the year together. And that came through the Monetary Policy and Financial Stability Statement released just 3 days ago by the Central Bank, or the National Bank of Rwanda. And finally, in the East African corridor, Uganda, Minister of Investment, Anita has asked Ugandans not to, despite the country's locally produced good, or refer to companies or products produced in Uganda as inferior. In the meantime, we're looking at West Africa, where ExxonMobil is promising about $10 billion investment in Nigeria's offshore oil and gas explorations, while the Naira continued to dip. There was a bit of a slight recovery to about 1,570 on Thursday, however, but liquidity pressure is still there for the local currency units. And Access Bank Nigeria reporting that all dots have been crossed, T's also put together, all regulatory whatever needed to acquire the BancABC of Tanzania has now been done. It will now operate under the Access Bank Tanzania Limited name moving forward. Congratulations for making another major inroads from West Africa into the East African banking system. And good news for Liberia. The IMF board of executive directors have approved $209 million for the small West African economy. And finally, in the region, Senegal is looking to unveil a highly anticipated financial review for the country. So let's walk through the Southern Africa's headlines as we go into the weekend. HSBC Holdings is looking to exit South Africa's operations by selling its unit in Johannesburg to FirstRand, one of the biggest financial services company group in South Africa and the entire African continent, by the way. But the Bank of Zambia, which is the central bank, however, has cancelled Better Money's operating license for flouting operating requirements of the financial regulator. And Patel in Zimbabwe is looking for $30 million to expand footprints within the region, while the National Bank of Malawi has secured a landmark $100 million from Afrexim Bank. The idea is to support trade finance within this highly productive agricultural economy in Southern Africa. What do we have for you this Friday, the 27th of September? Egypt in North Africa and Uganda in East Africa discussing prospects of bilateral cooperation, while Egypt is looking to deepen financial ties with China and attract investment. Those soundbites are coming through from the United Nations General Assembly, which has been week-long and will be coming to an end later this weekend. In Morocco, the economy is set to grow 2.9%, roughly to 3% this year, and that's according to the EBRD, that's the European Bank for Reconstruction and Development, while the Saham Group in Morocco says it's getting approval to acquire Sept, that is Societe Generale subsidiaries in Morocco. That's the headlines out of that corridor. Hope you have a very great week so far. Enjoy the rest of your day and, of course, the weekend ahead. I am Bosin Namofai. I'll see you soon at the other side of the weekend. Bye for now.